Well, good morning, everybody. You all didn't get notified about this because somehow it was set to unlisted and it wasn't made public. So this was a very, looks like a last minute live, but it wasn't even a last minute live. And that's an unfortunate thing on our part because, obviously wanted more eyeballs and that just didn't happen. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to introduce this gentleman here in a minute, but, many people have shown on the internet here, lots of expats who have pensions, who are ex-military or, could be anything, but they have a pension and they have that safeguard before they pack up and leave and go on to the other side of the world. Obviously, everybody who knows my story, I didn't have any of that at all. I just kind of got sick of everything and I just said, fuck this, sold everything I owned and left. And didn't come to the Philippines at first. I went to Cambodia, then Albania, then the Philippines. But it is, a little less common, obviously, to have people have such high risk adverse nature. How about that? Maybe that'll work. I didn't get much sleep, so I'm gonna have hard problem finding my words or something. And so you don't see that. And then also you don't see people who are under the age of 60, really, 50, 60, that kind of thing, traveling here to the Philippines for the rest of their lives, like staying permanently. Another thing that you don't see very often is people who come down here, but then also come with the goal to live frugal, right? To not live in the nice, beautiful houses and that kind of thing, but still live really comfortably here, but able to do it in hundreds of dollars as opposed to thousands of dollars. And so I thought this would be a great, fresh perspective for everybody. And I think it'll, even if you aren't going to be somebody like that, it'll help a perspective on my number one asked question is, my pension is $3,000 a month. Can I retire in the Philippines, or $4,000 or $2,000 or $1,700? And that's my number one question is they give me an amount and they say, do you think I'd be okay living in the Philippines, retiring in the Philippines? And so if anything, that would give you perspective. If I'm going to tell you somebody here who has figured it out in a much, much more cost-effective way and still living in this beautiful paradise. So this here is a friend of mine. He came to Roxas City
about 3 months ago.
3 months ago, thank you. About 3 months ago. This was your first stop?
Well, Manila first, then a
Okay.
flight over to...
But you didn't stay much in Manila?
not much, a few days.
A few days. So that almost the first stop. And this is Richard. Now Richard has a little YouTube channel here, but really that's what, when I first met him, and he's been on my show before, he is a videographer. He takes mostly pretty girls, by the way, and does like cinematography type stuff with them. And it looks fantastic and that kind of thing. And so he had, and he still has, an account called Neon House. And that was something that I was blown away with. I used to be a photographer, so I was really into what he was doing. And, we connected right away and we got along quite a bit. And so recently he told me he's starting a YouTube channel because he has a whole different perspective. And I said, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? At the same time, I'm going to talk with my audience about, can you retire here with several hundreds of dollars? What kind of lifestyle does that mean? That kind of thing. And who better to answer something like that than somebody who's actually doing it?
Right.
So, everybody, this is Richard.
Hi, everyone.
Or Dad Bod.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate your friendship. And I met Michael through online. And at that time when we met, I was in Mexico. And I was traveling there for about a year and a half before I decided to make like a move, because I think when you're traveling and you're kind of leaving your situation and you're trying to like figure out where you're going to go, that takes a bit of time. So you just don't land in like, I went to Colombia and you're going to expect to stay there all your life. So you try it out for a year. Then I flew to Mexico and I stayed there for a year and a half, and that didn't really work out for me. So when I was online, I started following Michael and watching his videos, and I contacted him and we spoke on the phone. Actually, you called me within 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
After I emailed you.
I'm shocked.
I'm like, this guy.
Me and phones, man. I'm shocked.
It's amazing. So We spoke for 2 hours on the phone, and I said, you know what? Let's just go to the Philippines and let's just check this out without having any prior knowledge to coming here or even thinking about coming here. So yeah, I finally made it here to Roxas City. I met Michael, and at that time, actually, I didn't know what I was doing because I left Canada during COVID because this was a time for everyone, right? That wrench, got thrown in the engine and just stopped. Right? Like everyone's life stopped during COVID.
Yeah.
So we all have our story, and to make my story, like a long story, very, very short, I had a post-production business for 30 years, very successful. I worked on corporate videos, I did documentaries, I did music videos, producing, camera work, video editing, special effects. It's just the whole 9 yards. So I did really well in Canada, in Toronto, very successful, making a lot of money. And when COVID came in Canada, the restrictions were so tough. And I was working on a documentary series where we had 60 people on staff, easy, actors, food, lights, camera. But Discovery Channel at the time notified us and said we can only have 25 people on set. And this was a multi-million-dollar contract with Discovery Channel. And within 2 weeks after COVID, we got the phone call and he says, we can't do this show anymore because it's impossible. We need this many people to work, but only this many can. So it wasn't my decision. It was the producer's decision to do that. And my business partner called me up and he was, petrified. He was like, oh my God, we're going to lose our business. And within a week, my business partner came with his car and he had papers, and my God, I can't believe it. We both signed these papers and we broke up our company. And it was that tough for us.
Wow.
And he was also going through a lot of stuff too. His father died and his mother died around the same time. And then I went through my stuff. So it was quite the breakup. When you're in a business for 30 years with your business partner, it's like a marriage. And I love that guy so much. And it just happened to be this way, right? So to make the story even much shorter, I wasn't receiving enough money from the government to pay off anything of my life, because when you're making a lot of money in Toronto,
you raise your cost of living.
My cost of living is crazy. I'm living in a beautiful condo. I'm right in the heart of it in Yorkville. Yorkville is the highest quality area in Toronto. You can't beat it. So you have to pay for all that, the food, expenses. I just couldn't handle it. And I really felt my life at that time was like, I felt like an energy, like a black hole. I was getting sucked into it. So I had to make a quick decision. I was like, okay, wow, what am I going to do now? There's no work. Everyone's scared. I'm scared. And I called my friend. I just asked her, a real estate friend of mine, I said, do you think you can sell my condo? And she goes, why? She goes, during COVID? I'm like, yeah, give it a shot. Just try it. And to make the story even much more shorter, she sold my condo. I got rid of all my stuff. I packed up, said goodbye to my family, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go, because I basically just lost a huge portion of my life as a professional cinematographer. And I thought to myself, like, you know what? Maybe this was the sign. I think, in COVID, that is a big sign for a lot of people to make that decision. Okay, so that decision, that's a lifestyle decision. So I went from making a lot of money to making no money at all.
Yep.
And I won't get into too much details how money, but I did sell my condo, so that's one idea, right? And I don't have a pension, so I was paying myself a pension kind of thing with my own company. I'll get a pension when I'm later, 65 years old, with a Canadian government, that $1,500.
Yeah.
But I'm 49 years old and I'm not looking at that pension at all. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, what am I going to do? So first, let's go travel. You got some money, you sold your condo, go. So I went to Colombia, did that for a year and a half. Well, yeah, close to that. And that was fun, but it wasn't for me. Then I went to Mexico.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
Colombia, what was your cost of living there?
Oh, cost of living in Colombia is the cheapest place I've ever been to. So we're talking about maybe, a really big apartment, 3 bedrooms, 2 levels, a rooftop terrace, about $120 Canadian.
Whew.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And you can get a lot cheaper there in Colombia. But Colombia,
You were living under $500?
oh yeah, easy.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, like you can do that because you're alone. I'm alone, so I don't have a wife or I don't have children, so it's easy for me just to find the cheapest place.
Yeah.
I don't.
And also, you don't require the creature comforts.
Well, that
You're
would.
comfortable enough in.
Well, that's the thing, right? So, like, you know, it's the juxtaposition between my two lives. My first life, I had everything. I was a hoarder too, because you're making so much money. You're like, my condo is filled with.
Buying shit.
You know, why I have 6 speakers? Why do I have all this stuff? So, you know, and so it went from that to basically a backpack. That was an amazing transition because I guess I have like some kind of weird attachment to objects, things that I love. Like I love my keyboard. I want to play music. I like my guitars. I have all my books and everything's so nice. But when you get rid of all that stuff, there's an internal transformation that happens within you as a person. And that's like a really strange effect. And it happened to me. And it was like a very scary, lonely experience, especially going to Colombia out of all the countries, right? The reason why I went to Colombia is because they had the lowest restrictions for COVID.
Yeah.
It was very hard to travel back then. So, that's why it was the first place. Now I do have friends in Colombia, so it was totally fine. I was safe and all that. So, just to continue fast forward, went to Mexico. Love Mexico, beautiful place. It's getting very expensive in Mexico.
I was going to say, I heard.
Yeah, so you know you want to live in a nice place in Mexico, so you go to Oaxaca or you go to San Cristobal. But then, you know, you're buying a hamburger and then you do the math and it's like, wow, that was $18.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, with the French fries and drinks.
Yeah.
I mean, you can eat cheap in Mexico, but I'm just talking in general. Like, if you go to you're going to find everything there. So you can, you know, just like the Philippines, you can eat really cheap or you can eat really expensive.
Yeah, you can eat in BGC.
Yeah, right. But
$80.
here but here you can eat, you know, really expensive food. Like I eat at the Beaver at least twice, two or three times a week. Yeah.
He's like, or you could, you know, if you want expensive, you go to the Beaver.
Yeah, you go to the Beaver. Yeah, you get a nice Beaver burger or the double chicken sandwich was my favorite. And it's still a really good price. So.
Okay, good. I thought you were putting me in the most expensive. So Mexico had another level. Colombia was obviously the lowest. Then why did you leave Colombia though? Just looking for more adventure?
Well, it wasn't. I wanted to stay in Colombia. I met a nice girl there and everything, but you know, there's a language barrier. No one speaks English. I mean, very rare. I mean, people speak English, but I'm not a linguistic person, and I have a very hard time picking up languages. It's just how I am. Now, I do speak like un poco español, like
yeah,
solo un poco. Yo entiendo. I understand Spanish, but when you're in these South American countries, your basic Spanish is not going to get you anywhere. You're like in the midst of like a group of people and they're all speaking, you know, their Spanish and you have no idea what's going on. So you feel left out, you feel lonely, and that was a big one. And, you know, Colombia, well, I was in a safe place, but it's, you know, Colombia is, you know, it needs a lot of work.
Sure.
They need to fix a part of Colombia, which we all love Colombia, but, you know, I'm not going to say it's too dangerous, but you know what I'm saying. I'm a foreigner.
Yeah. Well, and it's like here in the Philippines, people are like, oh, well, you really have to be careful where you go. And I'm like, not really. If you're in Colombia, you got to watch where you go.
You got to watch where you go.
You're in Toronto, you have to watch where you go.
Exactly. Yeah. So
here, not so much.
It's the same. And if you ask, you know, about Mexico, why I leave Mexico, it's exactly the same thing. So I'm like traveling for 2 years. I'm trying to learn Spanish. I can't pick it up. And I'm getting lonely again. I'm traveling from city to city. You meet people, you leave people. You meet people, you leave people. So I got to the very end of that trip and I said, you know, like, it's not working out. I don't know why.
Yeah.
This is not working out for me. So, you know, and back to the point, contacted Michael, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
So, after all that.
Exactly. Okay, so before I go any further,
yeah,
I'm going to say hello to everybody that has shown up in here. Like, it was set to unlisted by accident, so I know it wasn't announced. Everybody was supposed to know about this ahead of time. I'm sorry about that. Not sure what happened. Anyway, Matthew, thank you very much. Welcome from capital city of Michigan. No pension when you're not 60, 65. No, that's true. Actually, but that video I did recently with the gentleman who lives in Mindoro, he left early and he collected before 60, he collected his pension. And so you can, and he was Canada Revenue Agency, so I think he was talking about the government pension, I'm not sure. But I'd have to remember the video. But anyway, I think he collected at 58, and he took a much lower number, but he's an accountant by trade, and so he worked it out, and he's like, as long as I don't live, I start losing money if I live over 85, is what he said. And by then, I'm not going to care because my other pension, because in Canada we get two, so when you're 70, you get an old age security. And so he's like, that's already going to kick in anyway. And so he's like, I'm not holding off so that I maximize my value at 85 years old. And so there are ways to take them early. But yeah, as a general principle. Alrighty, okay. King. Joseph, hi Michael, greetings from New Mexico, USA. Hello, David Price, nice to see you again, David. Hello from Bacolod. Hello, Michael. Mikal here from Canada, quite courageous to move to the Philippines without a pension. Yeah, it's like the people who start a business with basically no savings, right? They can end up literally, broke in poverty and have nothing to their name or anything if their business fails. There are people out there that do it. Yeah. Right? They take those chances and they literally go with nothing behind them.
Remember, people like this, like myself, we don't have anything. We don't have a wife. We don't have kids. We have no debt. And we can freely just work online, make money, and we can live a very cheap life. So,
which we'll talk about in a minute.
Okay, right. Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to go too far. Craig, hello. I'm just going to quickly Smurf Crusher. Good morning, Mike. Hello, good brother. With Tangerine Jesus starting a trade war. I'm going to stay out of the politics, guys. I am in the Philippines now. I only care about what's going to affect me in the Philippines. That's why I stay out of it. Hello, Michael. I'm Filipino from here in St. Catharines. Well, there you go. Close to Mississauga. I know it very well, between Hamilton and Niagara Falls. Here in Canada, pension starts at 60, 65. That's right. You can take a smaller or a bigger one. Ralph, good morning, guys. Terry, good morning from Bancroft. Alan, hey, Alan, there you are. Hello from Kalinga, Luzon. Hope no one lost too much money on the 401k. Well, the only thing, when I see that stock market stuff like this, if you're not retiring in that exact moment, does it really matter? No, because the stock market is, we've heard of all this so many times. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. Oh my God, it's the end of the world. And we have all these, but then if you look at the trend, it's, so, yeah. As long as you aren't like today, and you need the money today. Hi, Mike, watching from Alaska. Hello, Bob. Hello from Florida, Salty. Hello. Life is cheaper if you like rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Very much, but I definitely don't. I'm living comfortably on $1,000 a month. Trick was during pandemic when I lived in the States, I sent my future wife budgets to build a house, buy a car, etc. I have my 13A. Good, that's great. Working visa. And failed health. There you go. Or if you think ahead like you, Alan. That's true. A lot of people just go for it and come. So we'll get back to the comments in a minute anyway. So I wanted to go back. So here in the Philippines, you've already been in Mexico and Colombia now for years.
Right.
Obviously, you dipped into your savings of selling the condo.
Yeah.
Right? No different than I did, right? I had my money sold and then I put into stocks, and then as stocks do, they sometimes go down dramatically sometimes, depending where you're in. And mine was just before I came to the Philippines. I lost 90% value. I hung on to something I shouldn't have too long, right? Bitcoin miners. And the miners just started, they were doing well, but they didn't want to sell their Bitcoin, so they just kept selling shares, diluting all the shareholders until people got so sick of it and they just didn't value the stock at where it was anymore. And so yeah, I just watched that literally drop like crazy as the Bitcoin price goes up. It's insane. Anyway, so for you, when you came here, what were you thinking for cost of living and that kind of thing?
Well, doing the research and speaking with you, I knew that I was going to get a much cheaper experience here. And that was kind of like, besides you pushing me to come here, I also knew that, because I'm running out of money a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I understand money, it's a flow. Money comes in and it goes. So that's how it works. You just don't make it, you don't become the ultimate billionaire and then not come back down. And, that's a stock too, right? Your life is a stock. You go up and down. So, but yeah, now I have to be more careful about how I do things or whatnot. And that's okay. I still have money. And what I do is I just budget myself. And I think I got maybe like 3 years. I would give myself 3 years on my budget here in the Philippines, that I can have some time to figure out what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a business, or now I've opened up my YouTube channel. That's something that I really like, because obviously I'm a videographer and a video editor, so I hope to get monetized, and that'd be another really great way to generate some money. And I'm sorry, I think I went off.
But yeah,
What was the
you
question?
also do the crypto trading, eh?
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
stock trading,
Oh,
whatever,
okay.
that kind of thing.
That's right.
And you're stacking also, so you're not selling.
Oh yeah,
Which-
I'm stacking crypto.
Which, So there are other avenues, but
yeah.
but what kind of budget were you hoping to live? Like, what was and you came here, in your mind, how much money do you think you could live on a month? Talking to me and others.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, I think 350 Canadian was
350 Canadian,
was
so
my target.
$275 US.
Well, I'm paying $2,500 a month in Canada. $2,500 versus $350 is a huge difference.
Yeah.
Especially being alone. But
So
now
that's for rent you're talking about.
just for the rent.
Oh, okay.
And that's my biggest expense.
Yeah, but no, when you said 350 Canadian, that was the rent?
That's my rent I pay right now.
Isn't that more than I pay?
It is.
Okay. Just
It
checking.
is.
Just checking.
Okay. Here's I'll explain why.
Wait a minute, something's wrong here.
Because you can get a big house here like this. The thing is that I'm not sure exactly where I'm going, where I'm staying and whatnot. And when you rent out a house, it's too big. It has no furniture in there. It has no internet. It has no bed, it has no furniture, it has no fridge. So basically, I would have to kind of like build a home for the same price, like get a big house like that. But I felt like I wasn't ready to do that just yet.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, you know what, do 4 or 5 months at the hotel and figure out what you want to do. And that happened. So now in 3 weeks, I'm going to be Michael's neighbor about maybe a half a click this way on the beach.
Not even.
And I'm going to be renting a little room for my friend Harry.
Yeah, French Canadian.
Yeah, and my rent will literally be like $130 Canadian a month.
Yeah, so.
And it has everything. It has the fridge, it has the bed, it has a beautiful front yard facing the beach. I have everything that I need. So, I'm trying to cater my life in a way where, well, it's just very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give you an idea, guys, Americans out there, $105 American.
Yeah.
Right? Because even people in Germany, they know what an American dollar is.
Oh, right.
Australia, that kind of thing. So for the Canadians out there, you already know. But yeah, for everybody else, it's about $105 US per month is his rent. And he is as close as this Bahay Kubo is to the beach.
Exactly.
Right? You can hear the water just like this.
I just wanted that breeze. I wanted that beach life. And I found, like, I've been here for 3 months now in Roxas. I really feel like home here, because even when I went to Palawan, I came back and I was like, oh, I miss Roxas.
Yeah, he took off. He's like, okay, that's it. I'm gone for a few months. I'm going to be touring all of Palawan. I'm going to have a great time. And Palawan's famous, right? Like, that's gorgeous, beautiful, tropical place. And he comes right back. And I was like, what the heck? I thought I lost you forever.
Surprise!
Yeah. Yeah, Roxas won in the end. Now, Roxas does have a much lower cost of living here.
Yeah, and I like the vibe of the city. You have everything here, which is what I like, and it's very calm and relaxed. And you can have that party, or you can have that relaxation. Where I find, like, I love Palawan, but it's just full on party, like nonstop. And I think after a while, it's kind of like, I kind of just miss I've also made friends here, like Michael and other people. So I wanted to say that too, is that I think with my traveling experience, because I was moving so much. I felt alone. I saw a comment here where it says, being alone is so lonely. I'm not alone. I'm definitely not alone. I'm a very spiritual person, and I know I came here to meet friends. I have a home base in Ojaz, and maybe I was alone traveling at that time, but I changed that part of myself. So now, Ojaz is kind of like my home. I have some beautiful friends. I'm definitely not alone.
You definitely have beautiful friends.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're funny friends.
When you were in Palawan, you certainly weren't alone.
Oh yeah, I wasn't alone in Palawan.
Yeah, and yeah, he comes in every day. You can go in the bathroom, change to his bathing suit or whatever,
yeah.
and he just you can leave your clothes right there,
Yep.
go swim in the ocean, come back, the girl's already waiting. Hello, Richard.
Yeah.
No problem.
I come to the bar, my bathing suit, I order a beer, I go for a swim, I'm in the water having fun. I come back completely wet, drink my beer.
Yeah.
It's a good time. And plus, I think it's the best bar on the whole strip. And no one's playing good music, and there's a big TV here. So, like I'm a Canadian, I want to sit at a rock bar.
Yeah.
I want to
exactly.
eat like a hamburger and have my beer and
Yeah.
talk to the pretty ladies who work there, which were all my friends. And it's just nice view, a nice sight. And Michael's always accommodating. He's always happy. So it's a good place. It's a really good place.
Okay, so here though, like, what kind of life can somebody have? Or sorry, what's your total budget when you first came here? Like for the first few months or whatever, what was the total amount you would say you were spending?
Well, I was 350. So I mean, I didn't know at first. Like I still like I'm working. So my budget would have been like 500 Canadian.
500 Canadian for about $400 US.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so $400, probably even less. It's like 380, isn't it? Yeah. So
Yeah,
what can they expect out of that, realistically?
Realistically, well, that's going to give you your grocery. You're gonna be able to buy a big grocery here for $100 easy.
Yeah.
So I cook a lot of vegetables, and they buy at the SM Mall. They have a pack of meat, pack of sausages, Hungarian sausages. So I just stock up my freezer with those two things, and 2 packs of Hungarian sausages, and I buy my vegetables really cheap at the market. I'm going to be making a video about that, but like you're going to get a bag of tomatoes for 20 pesos.
Yeah, and if you're at the grocery store, a single tomato will be 80 pesos.
Oh yeah, a single
Approximately.
tomato. Yeah, but if you go to the market, whoa! I come back home with a bag of groceries, and it's under 300 pesos.
Yeah,
A bag.
incredible.
8 potatoes, 15 eggs. 15 eggs for 100 pesos.
Yeah, so
Large eggs too.
to give you an idea, that's under $2.
Yeah, it's under $2. So you got your $350 for your rent, and then you got a good amount of money just to buy food. And then I guess I'm undercompensating because I do come to your bar. So
Yeah.
I do.
I break his budget. with that.
It breaks my budget, but that's okay because now I'm going to be able to go to a much cheaper place, and then I'll still come to the bar and drink the beer. So
Yeah. I get him to be frugal everywhere else so that he can afford me.
You can imagine, like I'm saving like $170, $180 a month. Wait, is that right? Yeah, something like that. And that 180, that like doubles my grocery.
Wow.
It also gives me more beer money.
Yeah.
Which I want to drink my beer. So.
Whoa, look at this. All right. So Jose, who was it? He just arrived.
Hey, Jose.
There
Hey,
you
man.
go. So Jose has been coming to Roxas City. I think it's his 3rd time now since I've been here, and he just gifted 10 people.
Oh my God.
Yeah, memberships to my
Yeah,
channel. So thank you
yeah.
very much, Jose. You're awesome. You're absolutely awesome, brother. And he was just in yesterday and the day before, I think.
Yeah, great guy.
2
Great
days
guy.
ago. Yeah. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate that very much.
Good
and,
vibes.
there you go, guys. Welcome to the 10 people there now as members, and it didn't cost you a penny. That's a bonus. Let me see. Ray says here, it's a little cut off on the screen, I'm sure. Yeah, it is a little bit. Plus your logo here. Oops.
I'm covering it.
How dare you? How dare you? Problem is I can't move. There we
There
go.
you go. Oh.
There we go. We'll do that right there.
Magic.
No one can say where the best place to live is. Oh, yeah, we're not saying that. Definitely not. It depends on you. Duma might be good for one person, but Roxas City might be for another. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And this isn't like, I'm not meaning to actually even just promote Roxas City. Obviously, it does well for me. what I'm doing is
Yeah.
I'm giving people an idea because that's my big question that everybody sends me is, can I afford, can I afford, can I afford? So the fact that somebody can afford 380 US dollars means that your answer to can I afford $3,000 should answer
Oh,
itself,
yeah.
right? Because there are people that come from the West, that came from a pretty good lifestyle, are able to do that. So therefore, it answers the other side of it. That's really what I was getting at. To be honest, like if you wanted a much cheaper, like the cheapest possible life possible, you probably would be looking into parts of Mindanao, like even northern Mindanao and stuff like that. You know, I've seen the videos myself there. Like you can get more for your money even there. So yeah, it's not. I'm not saying this is the cheapest place by far. It's not. There are going to be cheaper places. This is a city. You want to live even cheaper, you go out of a city. You should be in the provinces, that kind of thing. Yeah, definitely there are places all over, and it is dependent. Another thing that many people ask me is, where can I get the best rent for me and my girl, and we have a child together, or something like that? And for them, there's honestly like two really good places for that, and that is go where the supply is large. All right, you go to Angeles City. There, for decades now, there's been Westerners out there renting these modern, nice houses and stuff like that. Therefore, the supply of those type of houses in that area is really high. Where if you came to Roxas City and said, yeah, I want to rent a modern house like this and like this, they might be able to find you one or two to look at. That's it. Because there hasn't been that influx of expats out here all looking to rent, or even OFWs, that kind of thing, looking to rent here those types of homes. Anybody who was at that level is Filipinos were just like, I'm going to buy my own house, right? They weren't out looking to rent and pay $500 or $700 or even $1,000 a month. That just wasn't a thing here. But in Dumaguete or in Angeles City, those kind of places, there has been a long history of it. Therefore, there's a big market of it, and competition drove the prices down, and so you can get more bang for your buck in those specific circumstances, right? Here, like you guys seen in my own video here, I had to make my own opportunity because there was nothing. If you wanted to live on the beach here, sorry guys, like you either renovate or you live, but like you're going to be very frustrated with what you're living with. Your roof will leak, and you'll be missing this and that, and I had to make my own way to make it work so that I live on this beach. But the price was still right. You wouldn't be able to do that in a lot of other places, living right on the beach like this. But then, as people point out in the comments all the time, oh, in this part where I live, you can get beach places like super cheap. Yes, supply and demand. They would have a better supply there. So yeah, it's all in context. But yeah, the purpose of him here coming on and explaining these isn't to say that it's the cheapest or anything like that. It's just to show you what you can possibly do, and therefore maybe alleviate a lot of people who are thinking, can I make it, can I not make it if I come to the Philippines? I think that answers yes, you can. 12 pesos per jumbo local eggs. Yeah, here they're 8, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. The guy liked me. He's like, 100 pesos.
Oh, nice.
He's like, okay, here. 15. I got 15 jumbo eggs for that.
Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah, if we buy, like at the restaurant, we buy big, right? So we're buying 36 at a time.
Oh, yeah.
Which are huge trays like this. And that huge tray is like 280. So 36 for 280. So it works out to 8 pesos, I think.
Okay.
But you have to buy that many, right? Here it's $30 for 60 eggs. So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm saying 280, so it's going to cost us about $5 for 36 eggs for the restaurant anyway. But anybody can buy from them. You just have to buy 36. So for his comparison here, yeah, we're a third that price, if not much less. There we go. Hello from Toronto, Panay Snowbird. Hello, hello. I ended up in Dumaguete. My wife worked at a call center there. Oh, fantastic. Mothballs.
Oh, nice.
The best place to live is where the beautiful women are, and here or they're almost everywhere. Yeah, it's true. It's true, because you can go to some towns here, and because a lot of the, like they have beauty pageants are very common here, right? And so you can have all the beauty pageant winners, right? Now they're in their 20s or whatever, and they're still winning beauty pageants. And you can go to like a festival, and there are like 9 of them, and they're all single. And a lot of the guys have gone to Manila to work and everything, and the dating pool's smaller for them. You can literally have like 9 of them staring at you and trying to hit on you while they're in their beauty outfit or whatever on a float, and they're like, hello, like, come on, like, does that happen to you in the West?
No,
right?
no.
4 or 5
Zero,
beauty pageant-
zero.
I know.
Nothing happens there.
Yeah.
Unless you're like seriously into playing games. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible here.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I stayed at Texas Filipino Place? It's more expensive than other places, and he has a very abrupt personality. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, Peter. Maybe you just caught him on a bad time or something like that. You know, you never know. I've known him for a while, but I've never stayed there. I've never even been to his house, to be honest. We've only run into each other all over the place. He's always been very kind to me. So I judge people only on my interactions with them. Yeah, you know, I will say though, and it may have nothing to do with you. Okay, I don't want to say, I'm not making that connection. But sometimes people expect too much of me, like I owe them, sort of thing. And they're like, I've been watching your videos for 2 years. Therefore, you have to set aside, when they come here, they have to set aside, you are responsible to now, you know, let me just walk into your house, or, you know, like literally they will try to walk into my house, that kind of thing. Or they kind of have, I don't know, they just have some type of expectation from me. I know somebody else said, and if you're here, I'm sorry you have a misunderstanding about this, but he wrote me, and because I always tell people, listen, I don't charge for it or whatever, you just write me your questions, I'll be happy to answer when I can answer, and I generally answer every day. And he's like, he didn't have any questions, but he said, I'm going to come there and you're going to tour guide me around. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, I really don't have time to be a tour guide or anything, but if you have any questions or whatever. And he got back and he's like, that basically I'm scamming and lying to people online that I will help. And now I'm turning around and he's going to post it all over social media and everything. And I'm like, I didn't promise to be your personal tour guide. Like, the good thing about YouTube is you can help a lot of people get an understanding of what it's like around here, that kind of thing. By the way, if you hear the grinding, it's unfortunate my neighbor's doing construction. But yeah, so this way I can help 1 million people over a year, or many millions, or whatever, people just by making the videos, as opposed to trying to help one person at a time.
Right.
You know, there's only I don't have that kind of time. It'd be just impossible, to be honest.
Michael has 0 time. Actually, I'm quite amazed how Michael works. He's multitasking, so many different things, and he's able to make videos and upload them while managing the business, having a family, taking care of all of his friends. And it's actually a miracle kind of worker kind of guy.
I'm a very self-motivated person.
Very self-motivated. I'm a very high optimistic person too. I think you're going to need that quality to come here, because I have no pension, but I'm just like, I'm going, you know, like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make my channel and I'm going to get monetized. Like, I'm very, you know, I only have 18 subscribers, but I'm still very optimistic about, like, you know, getting monetized on my channel. But I like the attitude. That's how I was too when I had a business. I was go, 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 go. So I really appreciate it, Michael. Like, how you work and everything, you know?
Well, and everything sounds the same, because I was in the same thing. I didn't count on YouTube for money. I wouldn't even thought about it at the time. I figured, you know, I know it's possible and everything. But, you know, I was in Albania, and Albania during COVID was free, right? Nothing was closed. There was no masks, there was no nothing. And so YouTube, it was against their principles to show the world that there are places in the world where people live free like this. It was they deemed it as medical misinformation, essentially, right? It's like, no, that's not safe. Can't show the world. So anyway, I'd get my 33 views from the people I knew, and that's it. Like, I might as well set it to private, right? And I was blown away. I was like, I don't get it. Like, the world's all locked in their homes, and I'm showing people partying on a boat, and all the clubs are open, and all the restaurants are open, all the cafes, and I just didn't get it. And so at the time I was like, oh, I'm going to make all this money from YouTube. No, like, I'm 15 months into this thing and I'm not making a penny. But I had the stocks, right? And for me, it was the stocks only, because I could sell just enough, and yet my balance would go up because of the stock market was doing this. And I could take out just enough to cover my cost of living. And that's how I was doing it. I was doing it with a very small pillow under me, like a little cushion, but it wasn't very big. Anytime that pillow could disappear.
Right.
And it takes a certain kind of person
Yes.
to take those kind of balls.
Yeah.
And there's our people that have jobs, for example, that say they're, like one couple of them I met, they're 32 years with the company, but because of how their pension works with their age and time served and all that stuff, they're like, yeah, but to get my full pension, I still need to put 4 or 5 more years in. And they're already in their 60s, and I'm like, is it worth it?
No, early retirement's worth it, believe me.
Yeah, because you can spend less.
I'm not
It's so
retired,
much easier to do that.
Do it that way.
Yeah, and
get out as
living.
fast as you can. Like, that's how I think too. I'm doing it early, and I hear it from my family too, and I hear it from friends that I met here. It's always the same thing. I wish I did this before.
So
I wish I made these moves before.
Yeah.
And it's the same old story. So that is actually another like optimistic viewpoint I have. I'm just like, I'm always getting that message. I'm like, screw it, and I have similar qualities as Michael, as in I know how I've been successful. So I've made money and I've lost money. I made money and I lost money. And that's how you should view the world. You're not always going to be rich. You're always not going to be poor. But if you live a pretty comfortable life and with yourself, right? The needs of yourself and how you flow with your life, whatever, you can manage that part. I think a lot of people get stuck in the trap of you got to make more, right? When life should be just a bit more of like a flow state, and just be happy. Like, who knows, guys? Like, I might like lose everything, but my mentality is like, I don't really, give a.
Yeah.
I
You'll
really
figure it out.
I'm gonna figure it out, man. I've done business and I have a skill, but for now, like, budgeting, like, that's probably my biggest challenge is budget, because when I was making a lot of money, I was like, whoa, let's buy this and let's buy my friend's beer and let's, I had all.
I drive all the best cars. I had all the best suits. I did everything.
And so now that I'm budgeting, I'm just like, oh.
Yeah. Now it matters.
Now it matters, right?
Oh, I think about money more now. When I was a corporate exec and had all the money and the credit cards of all these colors and everything else, I was poorer then. I had so much money, but I was poorer because you just buy shit.
In debt.
And
totally in debt.
And I almost never think about money until the end of the month, sort of thing. Where here, that's all I do is I think of money. I have to, because I know exactly how much is in my account. I know exactly how much money is going out. I literally just know all of this stuff in my head now. I got to get to this, though. Thank you very much, Dave Simpson. It's been a while, my friend. Laura misses you greatly, too. Miss you all there in Roxas, and the best bar on the beach is the Canadian Beaver. Thank you very much for the super chat. You were really awesome, Dave Simpson, and we miss having you. I know you said, I think you can't come for another year or something, it's got to be hard. Once you come and try this, I can't imagine how easy it is to leave for long periods of time and then come back. So I get it. That's rough. Yeah. So I am going to get into the comments here. And by the way, I'm not going to be able to go hours and hours on this because I am going to Carles, which is Iloilo, in Iloilo. One of the most beautiful places you've ever been to is Gigantes. Okay, it starts with a G. It looks like Gigantics. Gigantes it's like Palawan, right, where these have beautiful, just amazing islands and rock formations and beaches, and like literally like a beach with turquoise water inside a mountain, right? You take a boat over, and then you climb up, and then you go in, and it's in the center, like a little mini volcano. And then this is you're gonna see.
Wow.
Anyway, and we're staying at a beautiful resort. It's like 5 stars that you're gonna be able to get for 4,000 or 5,000 pesos. Like, you'll see multiple pools, and because of the area isn't very well known, they're actually undercharging, to be honest. Anyway, the trip is only to go out and see these islands, only 20 bucks, right? 1,000 pesos. That's it. And you go all day, and it's unlimited seafood for lunch. So it's crazy. I've been there before, but you know what? I went alone. It didn't feel the same alone, like for the resort, I mean, not the trip. The trip, you go with it's a huge group, so it's cool. But I said to myself, sitting in that pool, with my little cocktail, and I was like, there's something missing here. Being alone in this resort felt really lonely.
Right.
Everybody's couples, you know, nobody's,
yeah.
they're all doing their own thing and not really chatty. And so I knew I had to go back. So I'm going back. I'm not alone anymore.
Oh, that's good.
All right, Laura and Catherine are coming with me, and we're going to go and have a good time. So I'm leaving in a few hours for that.
Oh,
but,
really?
I also have to go see a house for a subscriber just to make sure everything is good for him. I'm not going to be able to film it right away, but once he buys it, then okay. CQR worked okay for me, but with a baby on the way, moving to Cebu City, definitely. So I loved CQR for the difference, you know, like how different it was from everywhere else I went. It was just backpackers haven, and so interesting. You know, I went up and saw the witch doctor up in the mountain. That was really cool. But it's just so unique and different. But it is becoming, like, I don't know if people have seen, but when you go to Siargao, and I haven't even been, but I've seen like what people go through. The terminals there are tiny compared to how many people are going in, and so you are like you're like a sardine in a sardine can, stuffed in like this. And then you go to like from the boat terminals, the plane, the airport terminal. I just saw online now that the government has had to order them to shut down the frequent flyer premium lounge. They had to shut it down to make room for the common folk, I guess, now. Because there's just no room in the terminal anymore, and the people are literally packed in there, and it's sweaty and hot, and there's nowhere for anybody to sit. The government said, okay, you can't possibly keep doing it this way. The customers are getting upset, and that means tourists are getting upset. There's just so many people going to Siargao. It's just crazy that nobody has upgraded that terminal to a much bigger terminal yet. Anyway, so it's a very, very big, popular place. So CQR has really taken off like that too, where I just standing there, it was like, oh my God, 70-80%. Where are the Filipinos? Like, I just don't see it. and same with like a lot of other beaches that I've been going to recently. So it's a party place. It's a big time party place. Very interesting though, and I enjoyed it. So his YouTube channel, so if you go to the description of this video, there is a link to his channel. So if you click that, and I don't know if I can click that, I'm going to try. Yeah, I'm going to try to copy paste it here, even though I should just work. Because his channel's new, this is what happens when they have new channels.
Oh, yeah.
It's really hard to search them. Oh, it just went the wrong way. Hopefully I didn't screw that up. Hopefully, sorry guys, mind me. No, I'm really starting to screw up here. So when you have a brand new YouTube channel, they really make it hard to find you. It's really.
Yeah, I couldn't even find myself for a second there.
Yeah.
I finally figured it
and
out.
I ran into the same thing trying to find him. So I think our comments are going to disappear now. No, they're still there. Okay, good. I'm going to paste it in here though. Oh, I have to do it on here, I think. Okay, let's see. See if that link works, guys. I hope it does. I'm going to click it myself and see if I can. Yep, there you go.
Oh, it's a link.
It's still not working. Okay, sorry about that. You're right. It's on me. All right, so you can see it on his on the image here on the screen, right? And I'm trying to figure this out. So it's at
Dad Bod Goes Abroad.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try it. YouTube.
I should be the very first one. The name is pretty unique. So
/ Dad Bod
Goes Abroad.
Hello, Laura.
Who are you? What's your name? Your name's Laura? Wow,
Okay, there
nice
it is.
to meet you.
See, when I do it here now, watch, I'll go over here. Because this is where I got the link. All right, I'm going to get this. So yeah, that should just work, right?
Yeah, that should work.
I don't know what
if
all
you
this
click on
crap
it.
is. This was some, I went to it and then I selected share, right? So I'm going to pin that. If I can. Pin. Oh, I got to do it over here, I think. Okay, I have to do it here or something. Oh. Anyway, there it is, guys. Hopefully that works. Give the guy a follow. You never know.
Thanks, guys.
You might enjoy his content.
You might enjoy it.
Just might. You never know. No, I know you will. He's a really cool guy, and he doesn't really have any videos yet, right? But the shorts, so you got to be ready for them. Click, subscribe on it, and then he can go it because your views from the shorts don't count. You either have to make it with shorts or you make it with long. So you're gonna have to make a long one soon.
Yeah, I want
a good one.
I think you told me I need to have like a 30-day grace period, so I think I'm just going to use that.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm going to use. I got 30 days to make my first big video, which will be a half an hour. So I'm hoping it's going to be the one that shoots me up because I don't know. I heard stories like people have tried this and they don't get monetized, and they've done it for years. And there's some people who make really great videos and they get monetized right away. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen for me. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me give you guys a backdrop. So now you know. Yes, you can live on literally $380 a month. Okay, we got that out of the way. He's been able to do it. He's been able to do it in several countries too. It's not like the first thing. Now you do not have air conditioning, correct?
No, I do not.
So are you saying, oh, I can live there for $380? I'm going to have a really nice modern house, and I'm going to have an air conditioning. I'm going to have this and a hot water heater and this. No. So. Keep in mind, that's what we're talking about. But it's actually shocking how easy it is to adapt here, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yes. I also acclimatized in Mexico. So,
no, that's true.
Yeah, when I came to the Philippines, it has a different weather system, but it's actually a lot better here.
Well, here's the beat. The thing is I always forget, and I tell people all the time, oh, what are you talking about? It's so easy. I'm climatized. And I say all that. And then I go to Iloilo.
Oh, yeah.
And I roast, or I go to other places, whatever. It's the beach. I live at the beach. I have to remind myself, we have a never-ending breeze.
That's right. And you just walk down 2 blocks that way, and then...
Yeah, you're already cooking.
Yeah, you're like, wow, it's kind of hot today. So,
people are like, why are you wearing a coat? Because I had to drive. And your skin will burn. Yeah, I have to forget. I forget that all the time.
Yeah, just 2 windows and a fan, and your electricity bill is super low. I think the electricity there is about $4,500. Sorry, with the air conditioner unit, using that, about $4,500 a month. And with 2 windows open and a fan, you're talking like 800 pesos.
Yeah,
it's a big difference.
Like $15,
and it adds up, over time. So I would say you come here, just climatize your body to the weather and don't bother using air conditioning unless you really want to pay for it. But it's a hot country, and the air conditioner might not work as good as you think it might. So
I don't know. I'm doing well.
Okay, well,
I'm living the life. But
I tried it.
I'm okay because I'm like, my bills for me, like I said, I'm at 40,000 pesos or something. I'm like 750 US, right, dollars a month. But I love my life, so
yeah,
like I'm okay. I'm happy. We have 2 air conditioners. We run it pretty now. It's summer, so. Like it's not on now, obviously. All our windows are open, but I think upstairs Catherine still has it on. But we have small spaces, so I have a beautiful life. I love my life, but it's not like, let's not pretend I have this big, huge house. I don't, right? Everything is exactly what I need it to be. We don't care. Yeah. I know other people are like, oh, you should have a separate bedroom for Laura and separate this, and like, we actually have this big bed that we fold up and we put it on the floor there. Because when we sleep, we just sleep. Like, not us, you know what I mean by that. Yeah. But Laura, when she goes to bed earlier or whatever, she goes there. And it's kind of, like it's good for the kids. We're coming here because of the conservative life and race, how people are raised here and the qualities. Like somebody was just saying yesterday, and when he was sitting with me, and he's like, he sees all the families and the kids and everybody playing on the beach. And he's like, I don't see a single cell phone. All I see is kids having fun and playing with each other and interacting for 8 hours of the day. Yeah. Not something he's used to seeing that anymore, because like that's not a thing though. And they're not on vacation, most of these are just locals. It's just like, oh good, we got the weekend, that kind of thing. Yeah. And he's like, it's so much better here in all aspects with that kind of thing, right? Well, that's also the same reason why when you have a small child like Lara, and maybe until they're 6 or 7 years old, and many of them will never have their own bedroom, just to be clear, in the Philippines. Like the family will all live in one room with your cousins, your uncles, or grandparents. You're all in one room. They're raised with the shame. They're raised with the, like, where you would never do something to make your family look bad. That's what I mean by shame, right? The respect for themselves, the respect for their elders, the respect for their bodies, the respect for, that's all part of what we're talking about here. And what happens when you're a kid and you get your own room? Well, that's when you're hiding things under the bed, hiding things from your parents, hiding do this, staying up until the middle of the night, talking to boys, sneaking them in through the windows. Right? Like when I was 14 years old, I was sneaking girls in my windows, you know? So
I had a cubby hole
yeah.
underneath the staircase. Get in there.
Yeah, so when you're young, you're like, you think that's a good thing, but really, now that we're all older, we're all like, damn, no, we can't let that happen. So you're surprising. You'd be surprised what you can get away with and figure out when you have kids and all that kind of thing. But
well, your parents, my parents were liberal. They just, when I turned 14 at that time, they're like, Richard, you come home when you want. You're the man of the house. Yeah. And that's how it was. But here,
I was just get out of the house. They didn't want me. Street lights were on. I was 8, and they were like, "What street?" When I got back to maybe 10, actually, because I was in.
I got you doing dishes at 8 years old. You ready to go?
No, I wasn't doing any of that. No, they just didn't want me in the house. Get out of my life. You know, I was cramping the lifestyle, sort of thing. Anyway, so I want to get back on this, but I just wanted to make sure. Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about in a second. There you go. No complaints here. So it's a Smurf Crusher. I had a great stay at Texas Filipinos. There we go. I'm just going to kind of jump around here. Almita, I watch you daily. Never when in Rojas, but it surely looks amazing. I didn't see many tricycles though, and for me, that's something I really need to get around. Oh my God, there's a lot of
tons.
There's no shortage of trikes here.
Oh yeah.
So we're by the beach, and so they limit. You know, it depends. It's Sunday. Trust me, they'll be everywhere. But for the most part, you just don't need hundreds, so they're not seeing hundreds. But I assure you, when you go down, just 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers down near the mall, and then everything after that, there are a lot of tricycles. Absolutely no problem.
Or you can just walk.
Yeah, you can walk.
You can just walk.
It's really not, you know, here you can get very fit just by doing that. Going every day, I'm going to walk to SM. Yeah. You know, it's 2 kilometers, right?
Yeah, it's not far at all. I mean,
something like that.
To walk all the way downtown, it's going to be about an hour and a half. That's great exercise.
Yeah, that's like 5 kilometers.
It's a good exercise. So,
how do you get Woody Harrelson to your stream? I'm very lucky. Apparently you look like Woody Harrelson.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can rent motorbikes here, you can rent cars here. We have Grab here. There are not taxis, but there is Grab. And they're big, obviously more of them, because some of my expat friends are like, oh, I use Grab all the time now. Where it used to be, there was only 4 Grabs, because it's new here. And now there's got to be a lot more, because people wouldn't be able to get them so quickly now. Alden? Watching from the Schwa. Yeah,
man.
Can't wait to go bar hopping in your bar when me and my family go back home. Fantastic. So I was going to also just talk about something that many people might be very, very interested in. Hello, Neville, by the way. You should like when you have to judge them at pageants. They are lovely. Oh, yes, you get a lot of times foreigners, they'll be like, would you like to be one of the judges? That kind of thing. And you know what your requirement is? Hey, white guy. It's true, but yeah. And Dave, hey Michael, can't wait to be back. Yes, thank you very much. We're looking forward to seeing you again. All right, so listen, this is something you're all going to be very interested in, and that is, he is so popular. I mean, he's charismatic. Okay, he's a charismatic guy. But all the girls love this guy.
Aww.
Okay?
Wow.
And so I don't tell him this.
He told me the trick, though.
Oh, did I?
You did.
Okay, well, whatever it is, it's working, because I don't remember telling you. And I look at their body language, and every girl, and I'm talking like girls, like, I'm like, is that girl of age? And I'm teasing because they work for me, so I know they're of age. But they all lean in.
Oh.
They have the body language, everything there, and they're just eyes right on it. And as soon as he says anything, you can see the corners of their mouth, everything, all the body language that you're looking for to see if it reacts. It doesn't matter where he goes. He walks on the beach, and all the girls are love. He is like the cat's meow here in Roxas City. Now, I don't know if I'm just saying, like, if you're better looking, you're going to do really well here. But no, I'm just kidding. No, he's very charismatic. And I think that comes with the lifestyle of just that, you just give off that vibe that you're not so stressed about it. You're not freak out about everything. You're not trying to pretend you're better than everybody.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yep.
And it just, you just come off and get better off. Now tell me, what secret did I give you?
Well, I said, where are the rules? And The first rule is, this is not your country. The second rule is, be a nice man. And that was the rules. And I did that, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do that. And that's working out, and I don't have to push anyone, I don't have to pull anyone. And I think when you go on a journey like this, guys, seriously, you're on a journey of happiness. It's not just about traveling, it's not just about making money. You're gonna die. So you wanna go through a process where you need to be happy. You have to find something about you that's magical. We're all magical, and sometimes we hide that. So I feel like I'm here now, and I just wanna be that nice man. I wanna feel very energetic. And I also, you know, I want to attract that special person in my life one day, right? So you want to be that man for yourself, or that woman for yourself, so you can give that to the person. So I'm not in any rush to do that, but I'm definitely in the spiritual walk, I would call that. I'm just being very happy, and I'm always excited to come to the bar.
Yeah.
So when I come in with the zang, you know, like,
Yeah, you do.
you know, I bring the energy in, so everyone's really happy.
Yeah.
And I feel like
we have enough people that come here and they're annoyed by everything, and they're grumpy all the time.
Yeah.
And guess what? Everybody is then really like that to them too, you know. And they're going to more likely to scam them. They're going to more likely to everything to them. But here, it's reciprocal, like by 10. If you are really nice to people, just being nice, kind. I'm not saying you have to give them all your money, or I'm not saying all that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the fact that you just walk in and you're like, nice to meet you, sir, and literally a perfect stranger, you can say, oh, good morning, how are you, sir? And they will like light up.
Oh yeah.
And the world is your oyster if you're a nice person, okay? It really is. And this place will respond.
Especially in the Philippines. That's not like that in Colombia
Oh,
or Mexico.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't work. I was told before I came here from a Filipino friend, like the Filipinos are the nicest people. And when I got here, I didn't believe it. And then I was like, oh. And what they really admire about us white guys coming here is that they get a chance to be with us, talk to us, and feel that kind of energy. And they even just looking and smiling at someone here, it would literally just change their day.
Yeah.
It's an incredible, magical experience for them, and it's also a magical experience for you. And so then when you start working on that part about yourself, you know, you remember you're coming from a Western world. You know, I'm not sure. I mean, it's the third world here in the Philippines.
Oh, please don't say that.
Okay.
Yeah, God, no.
Okay.
So developing.
Developing.
I'm like, this isn't.
Okay.
But, yeah. I get why people say it, but it's not.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't really mean to say that, but what I think is that there's so much appreciation here for the people of the Philippines that when we come here, that we're just nice people and whatnot, because we come from different places. So. Yeah, I didn't mean to say that. If anyone, I didn't.
And when we say white guy, we actually mean Western.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Our friends who are not white skinned, but also Westerners, they get the same treatment and reactions here. Just want to be very clear on that.
Okay, that whole segment I messed up.
Yeah, no. I by accident I say it all the time too, but because they'll say to you, "Oh, white tax" or whatever. Guess what? If you are black, if you're brown, if you're not Filipino, it's the same tax. I assure you. So it's because they say that often we end up repeating it, but really, no, it's a foreigner tax. It's a foreigner this. Now, if you're from a country that, you know, you can't tell if that person's Filipino or not, you might get away with it. But that's about as far as it goes. And if you speak the language. Even if you're white and you have perfect Filipino, sorry, you're still paying the white tax.
Right.
You can yell at them more now, though.
Yeah, and also that's the other thing too, is that, I mean, Michael has spoken about that, but just coming from me, traveling in the South American countries and trying to speak Spanish and having no English with anyone, this is, you know, so for me to set myself up here is a dream come true, because the English is a language here, and it makes it a lot easier to make a move like that. You know, when you're changing your life, like I have no plans of going back to Canada, so I'm trying to like set myself up in a way where it works out for me. So besides all the niceness and also meeting all my friends here, the language thing is huge. It's a huge issue.
Yeah, enormous. Like,
it's enormous.
Yeah,
it's
when I went out to Vietnam, I was just like, oh yeah, we have it so good here.
Oh.
Yes, here it is. They're actually removing the VIP section of Siargao to make the terminal larger for travelers. Yeah, because it is so packed, and it's like they don't care, and people are getting very mad, and they're going to go other places if they don't get treated properly. So I think they figured that out. Housing isn't cheap in Angeles. They want 50K for a decent house. I live in Angeles. Well, but I have friends that are 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 pesos a month in, and I'm not talking about a big subdivision house. I'm just saying. For, like you're saying, a 2-bedroom little apartment for 20K. If you went to Iloilo, you would struggle to find a 1-bedroom or a studio for that price. So it's all I mean in context. So you want to live in a place where there's 100 places to choose from, or go to a place with 5 places to choose from. That's what I mean by that. So, like, if you want a really nice house in other cities, you might be in the same boat. But I can tell you from Dumaguete, for example, I've seen some friends actually with massive houses for 20K a month. There are also people that are paying 50K. It's true, of course. But Dumaguete, I couldn't believe how cheap the prices is until I really thought about it, and I'm like, oh yeah. Well, there's a lot to choose from, so the price is going to change. But if you're going to go up to Valencia, well, then maybe it's going to cost you way, way more money because very few people are going to rent up there. People are buying and building houses up there. Supply and demand, though, really. I do divs as well. Your WiMAX, 50% yield. Wow. Recently, very curious what the trade world do to that. 50% yield, though? Preach. Yeah, look at it. Jose being the popular guy again. We love Jose. Okay, I just want to, because I do have to get going. We're going to that awesome place, so I just want to make sure. And I'm glad everybody's finally going to be able to subscribe to him. And I'm going to post it again, though, just in case, because I couldn't pin it, and I don't know why. I think it's because it doesn't fit on my screen, but I'll fix it in the video after, too.
Okay. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No, I think you're going to be very interesting. How much is a trike from the mall to the bar? Here, 15 pesos,
yeah,
15,
20 pesos, depending.
Yeah. It depends. They won't tell you. It's listed, okay? If it has a number on it, here in Roxas City, if there's a number on the trike, it's a legal trike, right? But there's plenty of people that don't have any number on there that are private use only. They will be there to pick you up, and they're not as safe for a foreigner to do it. And when I say safe, I mean for the price. The city ones have a posted price on there, so you know it's 15 pesos. And if it's all the way to this other part, it's 20 pesos, that kind of thing. And the city makes them do that. But often, I don't even look at it. I know it's there. I could do it. But I'm just like, I don't know. I'm the only person in the trike. I'm not letting them pick anybody else up. And so I just give them 50. But that's me, and I use them. Don't get me wrong. I'll go do like shopping for the beaver, and I'll go into SM, and I'll get the cart, and I'll bring it right out, and they come running to me. I give them the 50 pesos, and I go wandering off. I already know them. I know that they all know me by name. Everybody knows me. And they deliver it to the beaver.
Oh, yeah.
They bring it, they carry all the stuff into our kitchen, and I never have to worry. Never. I've never had any worry. So I'm paying for that luxury. Like that's, to me, is well worth it. I'm okay with that. I don't know what happened here. Oh, look at this. Panama Chile. I hope this is working, though. I just reset the... Oh, it did work. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Panama Chile. Might buy Laura some ice cream from her auntie she hasn't met yet. Please be safe. Thank you very much. Well, I'm taking her to a really cool place today that's going to have plenty of ice cream, I think, or whatever. And we're going to be there for the next 3 days. And, the cool thing at the Beaver is I had to change things up. We did the big rib night. And the ribs, they were popular, but then we were crazy and we were like, oh my God, Wednesday's our busiest night of the week. And Monday's our slowest. Let's make it also rib night on Monday. When you make something less cool and less rare, that kind of thing, it loses its value. And so eventually it's like this. And now we're lucky if 3 people come in for ribs on Wednesdays, which defeats the point of doing it because we spend many hours during the day getting that ready, and we have to sell them. So we're switching it, and this Wednesday from now on is unlimited chicken wings for 299 pesos.
Pretty good deal.
It's wings and rice, to give you an idea, because Filipinos will have to have their rice, and some foreigners, but for most part, most foreigners will just eat the chicken wings. And so we're going to have our very first one this Wednesday. It's going to be very crazy here, but come anyway. Unlimited for $2.99. We have some fantastic wings. They are big wings. You can pick your flavors. So every time we bring out different iterations, you can have a different flavor every iteration. And so I'm looking forward to coming to see people out here. So to give you an idea, that's about $5 and something, $5.25 US for unlimited chicken wings. Do you get those kind of prices where you're from? No. And I'm still supposed to make money on it. We'll see. I hope I sell a lot of beer. And so if you are in the area or Iloilo or something like that, Wednesday's a great day to come and visit us and give that a shot. Even though it might be packed, we'll find more chairs and tables. I did find some recently and add more to my collection, so it's going good. Okay, so I just want to make sure I have any really, really desperate stuff here. Oh, the next Ice Cream Fest is May? I think it's in May. But you know what? Aisha, is right now, I'm trying to remember what her title is, but anyway, she's at the UN right now doing a speech. So the girl from the ice cream one, she's she's doing a speech right now, and she's a spokesman for the United Nations on behalf of Iloilo for something. How crazy is that? Neville, Venturo still. Halifax Computers, okay. Hi Mike, you're looking good. We are heading to Roxas City next week. Fantastic.
Nice.
That's awesome. We're only gone till Wednesday, so we'll be here for the wing night. So we're just gone for 2 nights. I'll be back there in June. How far are you from People's Park? Oh, People's Park. 100 meters? No, 200. 250 meters?
A nice slow walk.
Very, very short walk. A walk on the beach. Very, very close. Looking forward to trying new seafood menu at the Beaver. Yes, thank you. Awesome. We'll see you guys in May. Fantastic. Hello from Toronto. See you guys soon. Thank you, Velmo. I agree. Be nice there. We Filipinos are interacting with foreigners. It's nicer you are. The more community. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It pays off so much.
Yeah.
Just
it feels
be
good
a good
too.
person.
Oh my God,
of course
it feels great.
Good. And it takes the same amount of effort to be a grumpy ass person. The rest, and
I was
always going to be miserable.
I was going to say that too. You come to the Philippines, you gotta leave it all behind. Come here with a fresh thing. Yeah.
I've made a lot of friends at the Beaver. Yeah, Eddie, fantastic. Yeah,
Hi, Eddie.
It's becoming. They say like it takes a year, right, to build up a bar, that kind of thing.
Oh.
And it's like we're building a community too.
Oh yeah.
So it just keeps getting a little bit, and there'll be times where like I got no foreigners here or whatever, and they're all somewhere over. So they're building a community, and we're not the only spot people go to. I'm not going to say that. There are other places that they all meet up and go to. They'll go to somebody's house and they'll have poker night or whatever, that kind of thing. So yeah. Alan, Aaron, oh yeah, Mount Baker. Oh okay. I got nothing here for. Well, hey, listen, Hawaii. Pretty sure that's a fortune compared to this here in the Philippines. So, yeah, you're going to get a lot more for your money in the Philippines over Hawaii.
And you still get palm trees.
The Big Beaver is attracting. I thought it would be like all over Facebook. It still isn't. We're putting it all over Facebook. So I see people taking pictures. I'm just waiting for them to start sharing it everywhere.
Oh yeah.
The thing is the tide right now. The tide has been coming in and not going out till 4 or 5 o'clock. And so we can't put it out until we kind of lose the whole day, missing out on this beaver, being out on the beach. So it changes with the moon cycles, right? So it's gonna change again, and we'll be able to put it out. But for the most part, because the Kapistahan, which is our big festival, is all downtown and in Pueblo de Panay. They didn't have any events here on the beach this year, and which sucks for me, obviously. But that also means that the beach has actually been quite slow. We're doing fine, but the beach is really slow compared to was a year ago or other summers. And so there hasn't been a lot of people out there. So once I have thousands of people taking pictures with this beaver, I think it'll pay off. We just got to keep putting it out every single day, and we're going to see where it's going to go from there. But yes, Ralph, I'm very thankful that you. Jim, yeah, I can't remember the guy's name that bought it. And it's going to pay off as long as we keep putting it out every single day. Yeah, there you go. You at the UN. Okay, so I'm going to Carles. And then I'm going to Gigantes. It's absolutely gorgeous there. I know because I went there a year and a half ago, and this is going to be my first time, or maybe it's 2 years now. No, a year and a half ago. But this is, first thing I said last time is the resort that I'm going to, that I went to last time, I felt like kind of sad and lonely, to be honest. It's not a place to go alone. It is a couple's resort, a family resort, that kind of thing. And so now I get to go with Laura and Catherine, and we're going to actually enjoy it. It's a gorgeous resort, but I just kind of sat there and watched all the other couples all be happy. I was in the pool, my cocktail, and that's all I was thinking of. And so,
bring sand to the beach next time, eh?
Was that?
Bring sand to the beach.
Yeah, in that case, it's not a place for singles. So, yeah.
That's why I stopped myself from going to a few places. So I'm going to wait to travel to them so I can have like a friend.
Oh, Rojas is really far from Ilocos, right? You're going to have to Google that, but Roxas City is another. Oh wow, I think you're talking about the most northern part of the Philippines. I could be wrong, but Ilocos is like, I'm pretty sure that's the top of the Philippines, and we're down in like closer to Cebu and that kind of thing. You know, down here, Iloilo and Boracay, and I'm trying to think things that trigger people. We're like above Mindanao, you know, so Dumaguete, all that stuff. We're all in this little circle here. But I could be wrong. Maybe this Ilocos Sur is not anywhere near where I'm thinking. I cannot confirm or deny if we use them or not. Thank you very much, Eddie. Love the poker chip set. Absolutely love it.
Oh,
it's been fantastic. Yeah. All right, I do have to go though, and so anyway, guys, check out our friend here. He's going to start posting, and he's going to have a much different yet interesting life than anything I can offer you on my channel. Oh. It's almost like he can go.
So much to offer.
Well, no, think about it, because I'm telling you, this guy is so popular with the girls. And so he is like, a lot of people enjoyed watching me before I met Catherine for the reason that they're single guys and want to follow that single guy kind of thing. And I feel like that's like, I know you guys are going to want to follow him because that's the kind of vibe you're going to get out of it. And he's not a commitment guy. Like I am.
No.
I feel like I'm a serial relationship person. And it was just crazy because I wasn't until I got married the last time, with my ex. I wasn't. Before that, man, I had dated. I was like, I had a big period there where nobody could get me to commit. I was like, hell no. Why would I? Why would I do that? And then I came from the marriage thing, and then when I wasn't even looking, and then I fall in love here, and I just I have no interest in looking around or anything. I'm very happy, and I think that we all hope we could be that lucky to meet somebody where you're just like, yeah. I'm good. And so, yeah, I think a lot of people will be interested in this guy who's single, ready to mingle, and not looking for a girl to tie him down right away.
Yeah.
And the trouble that might get him into. We'll see.
Right. I'm going to enjoy the life here in the Philippines first, and I'll make sure that if I do get a woman, she's going to be the right one for me. I'm just not going to jump in the pool right away. So.
Yeah. All right. Yes. There are houses and rentals that are available here. Depends how far you want to be from the beach is going to determine a lot. You can get a lot more for your money because my friend Tom and Jebby, they went out and looked at houses recently for rent, and they found nice subdivision type houses, modern, with furniture and everything, 15 to 10. I shouldn't say 10 because that wouldn't fit what I just said. less modern 10, but 15 to 20,000 pesos a month in a big, not a big city, but in a city. But he was a little too far, so they ended up settling right by SM, which is really close. That's, like he said, go for walks every day to SM, and in the subdivision behind there. And we're going to be showing it soon, but I believe he's around 15,000 for that too. So 15 to 20,000 pesos a month. So $275 to $350 a month gets these are houses, right? We're talking apartments. And then, yes, apartments here that are, furnished and everything else with fridges and air conditioners and all that kind of stuff. I know there's people paying in that 10 to 12 to 13,000 a month for that. If you go to the farther end, you can get condos in our modern area. Around that 10,000 if you sign, depends how long you book it. So 10 to 12,000, 13,000 pesos a month for furnished with a swimming pool and security and all that kind of stuff. So. Yes, we do have it. How long will 20? Yeah, well, we did talk about it. He's been able to do it. Just have to rewind to the beginning when we talked about what he's gone through and how much money he's spending and that kind of thing. Okay, guys. So I'm going to let you guys go though. Check this out though. What a beautiful summer day going on out here. Uh-oh. Never mind. I ruined my camera. Oh no! Oh!
It's over?
They can hear me, but I don't think they can see us. I'm hoping I can make it work. I'm hoping.
Well,
let's see. Nope.
That's it, eh?
All right, guys. Well, guess what? You guys can hear me, but you guys can't see us. I screwed that up on the camera. I apologize, but yeah. Oops. Oops.
Oh.
No. Sorry. Anyway, guys, thank you very much.
Thanks,
we'll see
guys.
you guys soon. And make sure you subscribe to my friend Richard here.
Nice to meet you all. Thank you so much.